And so this is what I'm going to talk to you about what our guest speaker here today is. And he is John Jubilee. He is a cellular health scientist and the founder of Energized Health. He is best known for creating the 88-day transformation, which he's going to be talking to us about today, a program that emphasizes cellular hydration and inflammation reversal over traditional dieting to improve body composition and overall health. Please help me welcome John Jubilee.
Wow. Well, I'm so excited to be here. Met this little superstar. All right. Got the high five from the superstar. Well, first of all, I love you guys. I love this community. I so enjoyed all the beautiful shares last night and the beautiful spirit and the openness and the vulnerability. And so this is awesome because this is what I call family business, right? It's like a family. So I'm going to share a little bit, usually I'm all sciencey, with my science because I have a patent pending science and all that, but I'm going to share a little more family business today. Is that okay? All right, because I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it with you guys. So just give you a little bit of my quick backstory. I had probably the same journey as a lot of you guys, growing up in America with the American healthcare system, had some health conditions in my 30s, high blood pressure and hypertension, and played a lot of sports when I was younger, and football, basketball, and all that. And I ended up bone on bone in my knees. And you know what they tell you in America when you're bone on bone? Go get knee replacements, right? So that's the only answer that they had for me. And I thought, you got to be kidding me. So I tried everything for about 10 years. How many of you guys tried everything? I really did. I spent a fortune. So I was around a lot of super famous and successful people, a lot of doctors in my circle as a banker, but nobody really had any answers other than traditional. And so I went and just went on my own journey, basically over 10 years. So 10 years is not like a week or, it's longer than a college education, right? So I went on a 10-year journey and basically created this protocol for myself because I did my own research. And I said, look, there has to be something that's natural and something that really works. So this really did, like this work, and it transformed my life. But I had a very successful career in banking and loved what I did. But because I had such a transformation, when that happens and you have a big circle of people, it's like if you saw me and then you saw me look like a different person, right? Like I was used to walk around, like Fred Sanford. Anybody remember Fred? I was walking around like Fred Sanford with my bone on bone knees. And then all of a sudden I'm bouncing around. People were like, what happened to you? What happened to you? What happened to you? Did you get your knees replaced? And I was like, no, I did this protocol. And so I started helping one person, then two people, then 10 people. So over the period of about 11 years, I helped thousands of people to reverse all their ailments and all their diseases. And then a really famous person sat me down one day, and I'm not a name dropper, so I'm not going to name drop any of the names of people, but this guy sits me down and says, John, you got to go full-time in health and wellness. You are going to change the world. He said, no one in the world knows what you know. And I got to tell you guys a fun note, because I love James. I've spoke to him quite a while on the phone. We got to know each other on the phone, and I was so delighted to meet him in person. And I want to qualify something. The real world is not the world, it's people, right? It's the people. So I really believe in changing one person at a time. And then that's our real world, right? Our real world is the people in the world. And so it was the joy of my life to get to help all these thousands of people. And so I stepped off and I went full time in health and wellness to help people because I knew I had something that was real. And I'm going to share that with you guys today. And by the way, I usually speak with no slides, but my wife said, honey, if you're going to give these people something, you want to give them a good takeaway. So I'm gonna give you guys some slides today. What do I need to point it? My clicker's not working. Maybe I am going no slides. Oh, there it is. Oh, let me go back. Okay. I went too far. Okay. So there we go. We don't want to just stare at me. There we go. All right. So I'm going to cover these three things today. Can anyone tell I'm not a slide guy? All right. So here we go. We're going to cover these three things: why it's not working, the intercellular hydration, and that's really the big secret that I'm going to share with you today, and the simple six. There we go. So a lot of us, a lot of us in this room and in the world, we have all these same challenges that we've had. It might be a weight issue, brain fog, high blood pressure, joint pain, low energy, stress or anxiety. Anybody had all these or know someone that does and can need a little bit of help? And by the way, in this group, I can talk a little bit different. Anybody want to live super long and super strong? There we go. So here's a symptomatic cycle. So here's why it's not working in the world, especially, in America, but this is pretty much all around the world. People have a symptom, they go to the doctor, they give them a prescription, right? Because all they're trained to do, and I want to quickly say, listen, I have 200 doctors in my cell phone. They're my friend and they're my client. And so I love doctors, and there's a lot of great doctors in the world that really do want to do it a different way. They really do. But right now in med school, the best med schools, they all train them the same way: treat the symptom, right? They just look at a symptom, they prescribe a medication to treat a symptom. But that's not why it's not working, because we've got to get to the root cause. So this is what they don't talk about. This is a cell. Show you a cell. We've got to go to the cellular level. So this is what I learned when I did all my research. Now I'm kind of a bottom line guy. Is there anybody in here that's like a bottom line thinker? Like, don't tell me a bunch of fluff. Just give me the bottom line of what's the real answer to my problem. And just on a fun note, it was so sweet, and I just got to say this about James real quick. James has what I call a grandfather anointing. You guys know that? He doesn't have a father anointing. He has a grandfather anointing. He had that sweet spirit, right? He's real sweet. One of your guys last night says, 18 months I've been out of work. I'm not making any money. And James said, you need to do something different, like in a sweet way. Now I have a father's anointing. A dad says, get a job. But the grandfather says, maybe you should do something different. That's so sweet though. So if it's okay, guys, I'm a little bit bottom line here. So for me, when I was researching, I realized, oh my goodness, we're really just like a big bag of water and cells. And if your cells are healthy, everything's going to be healthy, right? It's a bottom line. Everything in your body, every bone, every organ, your brain, your eyes, your kidneys, your lungs, your thyroid, your muscles, every one of them is just made out of cells. So if your cells are healthy, everything in your body is going to be healthy. I'm going to show you, this is how this works. So over here, this is on the left side, on your left side, that's an unhealthy cell. Your cells are like a glass marble through oxidative stress and life and cortisol. And so all your healthy nutrition, and everyone's drinking more water, right? Everyone knows, drink more water, drink more water, drink more water. That's code for go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom. Because that water is just bouncing off your cell, and so are your nutrients, and so are your supplements. Can I say, probably in this room, there's a lot of expensive pee. But on the other side, when our cells are transformed and they become healthy, all those nutrients can get in, the hydration can get in, and better yet, the toxins and the inflammation is pushed out of the cell. And when you lose your inflammation, guess what goes out with your inflammation? Everything. Your pain goes away, your disease goes away, your lack of energy goes away, your fatigue goes away. 99.9% of every illness, disease, pain, brain fog on the planet is the root cause of that is inflammation. And so when we get rid of the inflammation, guys, guess what? Good news. Then we're going to have homeostasis. So look, I like to keep it simple. It's the difference between a marble and a sponge. You know, the difference between a marble and a sponge can get hydrated, a marble can't. When your cells are hard like a glass marble, it's not going to get in there. But when you go through a transformation and transform your cell to become like a sponge, you're going to get that healthy hydration in there. Look, these are the symptoms of a dehydrated cell. It's the low energy, it's the low immune system, it's the pain, it's the fatigue, it's the high blood pressure, it's the brain fog. Look, and I'm not going to put anybody on the spot, but let me just use one simple example, which is high blood pressure. You know, high blood pressure is so simple. Our clients, 90% of the time, reverse high blood pressure in 28 days. 28 days. Because guess what? All high blood pressure is dehydrated arteries and blood. When your blood's dehydrated, it's what we call sludge blood. It's like ketchup. Of course you have high blood pressure. Your blood is like ketchup. When you shared your story about, you know, getting your phlebotomist, right? You know, they stick the needle in there. No, our clients say, no, I used to go and have those experiences. And then they go and stick, and it's like a gusher. It's like they struck oil. You know, the blood is just shooting out of there because blood is supposed to have the viscosity of water. So when you put the healthy hydration into the blood, it flows like water, which is also great for your sex life. Because guess what? All ED is no blood flow. No blood flow where it's supposed to go for men and women, by the way. So that's just a blood flow issue. So the great news is hydration, it opens up the artery like a 4-lane highway, makes the blood have viscosity of water. And when you have that healthy blood flow, everything is better. So I'm going to give you 6 simple things today because I like to give you real takeaways. Anybody want some real takeaways today? So listen, there's actually 12 things, but I'm going to give you 6 just to at least put you on the roadmap so that you have an understanding of what it looks like to get healthy at the cellular level. Oh, by the way, you know what? Let me go back. Yeah. You know what? You guys may want to take a picture of this one. Take a picture of these for yourself. And I know you guys have this recorded on your website as well, but I just want to make sure everybody's got a good takeaway there. So look, hydration, pardon me? Okay. So look, on hydration, first of all, I just want to let everybody know, nobody gets hydrated just by drinking water. Who's figured that out? You know, so listen, I have measured thousands and thousands of people for 29 years of hydration. I have not measured 5 hydrated people in all that time. I'm telling you, 99.9% of every human on the planet is dehydrated at the cellular level. And I'm talking people that are drinking reverse osmosis, ionized, high alkaline, double oxygenated water, the whole 9 yards. It's not getting in the cell. It's not about the water. It's about getting your cells porous like a sponge. Everybody with me there? So don't anybody think, oh, I could just drink more water and I'm going to, no, you're not. You're just going to pee more. You know, now I will recommend that because you get free exercise running back and forth to the bathroom. So I'm all for that. But I do recommend, look, but you still do have to drink water, but it's just only one step. And it's a baby step, by the way. So I do recommend everybody start out 120, make sure, try to get yourself 120 ounces a day. Never drink more than 24 ounces at a time, because you're going to flush out your natural electrolytes. You're going to flush out your sodium. And you want to make sure you're adding in your electrolytes. So I don't know how salt ever got a bad rap, but Jesus got quoted a lot last night, so I'll quote a little Jesus today. Jesus said, "You're the salt of the earth." Salt is a good thing. Salt is a good thing. So eat salt, take salt, and take your magnesium and potassium. You need your electrolytes. By the way, I'm going to take questions at the end, so I'm going to kind of go through these, but I'll answer everything in detail that you guys want at the end. Movement. Listen, we got to move. We got to move. And the first thing to do is, listen, I encourage everybody to at least get out and walk for an hour a day. And I'm going to tell you why, for an hour. And listen, there's two different things here. How many people in here want to lose some fat? I don't care if it's just, look, if you ever saw 5 pounds of fat, it's gnarly what just 5 pounds look like. So even if you need to lose 5, you need to be doing this, what I'm going to tell you here. So get out and walk for an hour. But after you walk for about 5 minutes, get up on the balls of your feet, just like this. Just on the balls of your feet, not on your toes, but on the balls of your feet. And the reason why is your calf muscle are your second and third heart. Do you know your blood only from your heart pumps down like a waterfall? Your heart only pumps blood straight down to your ankles. That's not good. You want a circulatory system. So we are created with a circulatory system, but we have to know how to make it work the way it's designed to work. So your heart pumps blood down through your arteries, but when you engage your calf muscle, it circulates back up through your veins. That's circulatory. That's what we need to be doing. So walk for 5. I call this the Jubilee shuffle, by the way. Jubilee shuffle. Get your little shuffle on. So walk for 5, shuffle for 1, walk for 5, shuffle for 1. Listen, the first 10 minutes when you're moving, what's your name? Lynn. So Lynn, the first 5 minutes you're moving, your body goes, oh, Lynn's moving. I got to have some energy. I'm going to go eat some glucose. And it eats glucose for 10 minutes. The body's brilliant, by the way. And it does this whether you know it, like it, or don't know it. Eats glucose. At minute 11, it says, oh, Lynn's still moving. I'm going to go eat glycogen. Now it eats glycogen from minute 11 to minute 20. But at minute 21, the body says, Lynn, if you're going to keep doing this, I have to have a better fuel source. Now I'm going to go eat some fat. And now it starts metabolizing fat. And that's why I say, if you're trying to lose fat, go for an hour, because then from minute 21 to minute 60, you are eating fat. If you do it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, you get a triple fat burn. Triple fat burn. Who would like a triple fat burn? You say, well, John, I don't want to skip breakfast. You're not skipping breakfast. You're eating you. So you can sit there and go, hey, I'm having a fat omelet. Having a fat omelet with some fat bacon, some fat toast. So you are eating. You are eating when you do that. Nutrition. So look, everybody knows to eat better. Listen, here's what I teach. God gave you taste buds because food tastes good. Because food tastes good. So I really do believe in eat food that you love. But if you're trying to lose fat, don't eat sugar and don't eat white flour. When white flour touches human saliva, it turns into pure glucose, just like table sugar. So just cut out your sugar and cut out your white flour while you're trying to lose fat. Now, if you have no fat to lose, you can eat everything in moderation for the rest of your life. So I do eat everything in moderation, by the way. And when you have what this group I know has already learned, you guys really already have the hardest part down, which I'm going to get to in a minute, which is about your mindset and your spirit. You guys already know how to think the right way, but you got to learn the other mechanical steps of what it takes, the processes. It's like a combination. And there's like 12 numbers to this combination of what it takes to really get healthy at the cellular level. So I encourage you, though, to break it out. You know, when you're in fat burning mode, you're trying to burn fat. Ladies, you should eat 4 meals a day. Guys, you should be eating 5 meals a day, because you keep turning on the furnace of your metabolism so that you'll burn your fat and build your muscle. And by the way, the muscle burning, the muscle building is more important even than the fat burning. I'll tell you why in a minute. Okay, brain retrain. And this is what I was alluding to a minute ago. You guys got this part down, I think, right? Positive affirmations. James has taught you well. James has taught you well. You guys know how to speak positively, right? I am powerful. I am young. I am mighty. I am strong. You know how to say it. But how many of you guys laid in your bed this morning and said, I will go to the seminar today, and you just arrived here? No. How many steps did it take? You had to get out of bed. You had to get yourself ready. You probably had your coffee. You had some breakfast. You had to get in your car. You had, right? You took a lot of steps to still get here. Just positive affirmations are not enough. We need number 2, which is consistent habits. We need to learn what are the healthy habits that really change our life. Let me ask you guys a question. Let's keep it family business, keep it real here. How many people know something that you should be doing, but you don't do it? Oh, how many of you are lying right now? Listen, this will help all of us. It helps us to say something. We remember it 7 times better. So say this out loud. Say, knowing is not doing. So look, so first we need to learn. You know, we can't do what we don't know, but just because we know it doesn't mean we're doing it. So then we've got to step into consistent daily habits. Habits get a bad rap. People think of habits as drinking and smoking, but no, we can develop positive daily habits too. That every day we do these positive daily things and they become a habit. And when they're a habit, Lynn, we don't even have to think about it anymore. So I don't even have to think about drinking my water. I don't have to think about doing my Jubilee shuffle. I don't have to think about eating right. No, now those are healthy habits in my life because I've been doing those for 29 years now. So I'm going to encourage you, you can start today to do some new habits and you can learn some new habits. And when you do that, you create new neural pathways. Your brain physiologically changes. I'm sure James already taught you that, right? You create new neural pathways where you think different, you live different, and you behave differently every day. And look at this. James and I, this is so incredible how we connected. And my wife had just told me this year, honey, you need to get into the longevity field. Because been in health and wellness for 29 years. I've helped 50 to 70,000 people get off all their medication and get healthy and lose fat. But I never thought of myself as a biohacker or a longevity guy. But my wife said, honey, you are. And I guess I am. By the way, I'm 65. My wife said, I never saw someone so excited to turn 65 years old. But listen, this is important. And I asked James last night, he said, John, I already told those guys, because I usually don't really say this publicly because I could disconnect with an audience because it's unrealistic. But since he already told you guys, I'm going to tie this in a different way, if that's okay. So listen, longevity, the science, guys, this is just the real science. No matter how positive we think, no matter how great our affirmations are, no matter how deep our belief system is, The science is all about strength and lean muscle mass. You with me? I'm just being real with you here. Now, in 1997, I read, again, he quoted Jesus, so I'm going to quote the Bible a little bit today. Is that okay? So listen, there's a scripture in Deuteronomy. I read this scripture and I thought, wow, it's in the Bible, the number one selling book of all time. You know, on the East Coast, they call it the Holly Bible. You'll get it in a minute. You'll get it in a minute. Whoops, I went back one. So, but here's what it says. It says, as your years are, so shall your strength be. As your years are, so shall your strength be. What does that mean? You're going to get stronger as you get older. No, you're going to get stronger as you get older. So listen, so I could bench press about 200 pounds. So I said, hey, I'm going to set a goal to increase 1 pound a month. 1 pound a month. This guy looks like a weightlifter right here. You know. So that's not a big goal, right? That's not a big goal, 1 pound a month. That's not a big goal for a weightlifter. But that was my goal. I want to increase 1 pound a month. And so fast forward, I'm working out at the gym, you know, about a year and a half ago. And these guys walk up to me and they go, dude, what the heck? That's like a world record. And I laughed, you know. Then I came home to my wife, you know, hey, babe, I'm like a world record. You know, she goes, well, what were you lifting, honey? Like, oh, 525. And she starts Googling. She goes, honey, she goes, you think you could do 541? I go, well, honey, I don't even live for strength. I think I could do it. She goes, baby, that is the world record. So guys, last year I did 555 14 times. I set the world record as a senior citizen. And here's what I want to say though. Listen, the goal was 1 pound. 1 pound a month doesn't sound like much, right? But that was 29 years ago. It adds up. It adds up. I just increase a tiny bit at a time. And I share that with you because no matter where you're at today, and I want to tell you about my mom real quick. Proud of my mom. My mom's 85 years old. And so when my mom started, I told her, Mom, you got to build your lean muscle. So I want you to just start on your kitchen counter and just do a little push-up on your counter. And she started doing a little push-up on the counter. And then she's, you know, started on the wall, actually. Did it on the wall. Then she did it on the counter. My mom is 85 years old, could do 25 man push-ups. So it's all about a little bit at a time. It's all about a little bit at a time. But I want to encourage everyone in here, no matter what age you are, you can build your lean, healthy muscle. And if you want to live long and you want to live strong, you've got to make a commitment to that, because that really is the science. It is about your strength. Where did my other thing go here? Here we go. Supplements. Come on. How many people in here take supplements? All right. So listen, I'm all for supplements, but you got to have a healthy cell so the supplement can get in there. So I'm going to tell you guys a missing link about supplements. So I don't care what supplement you take. Listen, I'm a fan of everything. If it works, I say, hallelujah, let's all do it. You know, if it works, I'm all for it. But I say, but let's do what really works and what's really proven to work. So write this down or type it in your little notes there. It's MSM. MSM, methylsulfonate methane. Methylsulfonate methane. MSM is the most naturally occurring supplement on the planet Earth. Every natural water supply in the world is full of MSM. We were all supposed to be drinking MSM every drink of our life since we were babies. We're supposed to be bathed in it and absorbing it through our skin since we're children. But they took it out of all the water. You know why? Because it smells bad and it tastes bad. Because it's a sulfur base. So they take it out. But then if you go buy it at the supplement store, you know what it says? Take 1 or 2,000 milligrams of it. Well, that's not enough. That's not enough. So I'm just going to tell you right now, I recommend 15,000 milligrams, 7 times what they say on the bottle. I've been taking it for 29 years. Now remember my story. I was bone on bone in both my knees. Guess what? It's 29 years ago. I never had my knees replaced. I got no snap, crackling, or popping in my knees anymore. I actually go to football stadiums. I run up and down for an hour from the top to the bottom just for fun because I can, it's a miracle, that I can do that. But I totally naturally regrew all my cartilage, 2.5 centimeters, just like a 15-year-old, in my knees. So when it comes to supplements, though, remember, you've got to have the healthy cell first. You got to have the healthy cell so your supplements can get in there and you get the efficacy of your cellular health and of the supplements that you're taking. But no matter which one you're taking, I absolutely recommend for everyone, take your MSM because it is, again, we're supposed to be having it our whole life, but it's great for everything. It's the greatest anti-inflammatory that there is. It's the greatest anti-inflammation thing. And remember, what's the real root? The real root of pretty much every illness, disease, fatigue, it's the inflammation. So it's all about getting the inflammation out and getting that cell porous like a sponge. I'm not watching my time. Am I good? Okay. All right. So I tell you what, I'm going to open up for some. Okay, good. Good. Well, good. And I get to do 15 minutes of Q&A for you guys, but I want to make sure to to get to take care of you guys on that. So I'm going to jump right into that, and then I'll just share some other things in between. But I'm going to share 2 quick stories. First of all, I had a couple come up to me one day, and they said, John, they said, hey, could we do your program? And I wouldn't usually do this, but they were just such a cute couple. And I said, you mind if I ask how old you guys are? They said, we're 92 years old. And I said, well, I'll tell you what. I said, I'll make you a deal. I said, you can do it if you guys promise not to die on me. I said, it would be bad for my marketing. And they said, well, we'll stay alive. I said, okay, good. So they do this 88-day protocol. Now realize they're 92. So this guy, Joe Kleinert, they were from Tennessee, by the way. He gets into this rowing because all of a sudden he gained 15 pounds of solid muscle at 92 years old. That's a lot. That's a lot of muscle, right? Any of my muscle guys in here, 15 pounds, that's a lot of muscle. Gained 15 pounds at 92, but he got into this rowing. So in Tennessee, 70 and over, they have this rowing competition. You row for an hour, they count your rows. This guy wins 70 and over at 92 for the most rows. Now he's getting all excited, and he goes to the national championship in Boston, Massachusetts. And in Boston, this is nationwide. All those 70 and over guys are there. He wins the national championship. And so I called to check in to see what happened. And I called his wife and she goes, oh, John, he's so irritated. I go, irritated? I go, I heard he won. She goes, no, he did, but he's mad because he missed the world record by 12 rows. 92. And I said, well, how are you doing? She goes, John, I'm feeling so sharp. She goes, I'm running for mayor. She goes, I'm way smarter than all these young whippersnappers around here. She was elected mayor of Fairview, Tennessee at 93 years old. Hey, you know what? It really is, guys. We really have life choices with, and again, I'm going to ask you to say it out loud so you remember it. Look, it's one thing to have knowledge. It's one thing to have faith. It's one thing to have a belief system, but we've got to have a corresponding action. Everybody say corresponding action. Look, we got to have an action that goes with it. So when we have faith, when you have faith and you say, yeah, I'm going to live long. Yeah, I'm going to live powerful. Well, you got to have a corresponding action with your faith. So then you're going to learn, like by coming to these type of meetings, right? You're going to learn, but then you got to implement it. You got to implement it. You got to take action to be that person that you really can be. Take a corresponding action. So I'm going to open up for some questions here.
Yes. Okay. Testing. There we go. Okay. Thank you, John. Wow. I love your presentation. I know you got more of that to give us, but so when you're talking about 15,000 milligrams of MSM, oh, how many did you say?
15,000.
15,000.
Yeah.
Yes. 15,000. Now I usually tell people when they're going to start a new supplement, to start a lower dose and work their way up.
100%.
Do you recommend that? On
Absolutely.
jump into
Absolutely.
15,000?
Yes.
Well, where would you start at? Would you recommend normally for a person who say hasn't been taking it or something?
Yeah. No, just start at 3,000
Okay.
and then just stair step your way up.
Stair-step your way
Great
up.
question.
Okay.
Yeah, great
Mhm.
question.
All right, great.
Yeah. So
John Jubilee's brand. No.
yeah. Though you know what's funny? I'm not a supplement pusher guy. I did create an MSM only because it tastes terrible.
Yeah.
So if you can't stand the taste of it in the powder, then take a capsule. Take the capsule. And if you don't want to take a capsule and you can't stand the taste of a powder, then buy mine. It tastes like Kool-Aid. You know, my kids get in it and drink it all the
It's the
time.
powder and tastes like Kool-Aid?
Yeah, our powder tastes like Kool-Aid, but I'm not trying to sell supplements. But if you can stand the taste of the powder's less expensive. You know, you just put it in your water, stir it up, you know, chug it down, start with 3,000, build up to 15,000. If not, take the capsule.
If we want yours, how do we get yours?
Yeah. If you want ours, now right now we only sell to our own community, but it will be available shortly to the public. It will be, but you could get it through the website,
Okay.
Energized Health.
Awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Great question.
Okay, any other questions here or online as well? We can take those. Any other questions?
Don't be shy.
Gina?
Do you want to mic them?
Yes.
She's got one.
I'm sorry. We're here debating, and you probably said it, and we didn't pay enough attention. We wanted to know what would you recommend to keep hydrated, like as you recommend. Like you talk about times that you have to drink. You talk about the salt, but what's like do you recommend like more water in the morning, that at noon, that at night, that?
No, there's no specific, it's 24 ounces of water at a time, all throughout the day, but it's not just drinking the water. Yeah, so don't think it's that. It's really 12 sequential steps to make your cell go from being like this, like a glass marble, to this, open like a sponge, so that the hydration can get in your cell.
So it's
So this
yeah,
is,
I guess
this is
I
your
want to hear
program.
about your program.
It's a whole
then.
program.
Yeah. So, yeah,
So
can
if
we
they-
hear
if
about
they-
the program?
So if they wanted to hear more about your program, what would be the website or?
Yes, and you know what? Once I finish answering the questions, I'll give you guys a little QR code. If you guys want to do the protocol, I'll offer that, you know, for you. And I offer it 2 different ways. You know, I like to make it affordable for everybody. It is fully medically approved, by the way. So even if you have Care Credit or HSA, FSA, it's approved for all that stuff for everybody.
Is this, I know we'll get the answer later, but are these hydration needs the same for both male and female, or are they different?
No, it's really, it'd be a little bit less for women based on weight, just because usually men weigh more, so tiny bit, but not much difference at all. Yeah, we all need it.
Okay, Jean had a question.
So when the 92-year-old gained 15 pounds over what period of time?
88 days. Yeah. Yeah, the program is 88 days. By the way, a typical result Great question. So a typical result would be a woman would gain 5 to 10 pounds of lean skeletal muscle. Average client loses 34 pounds of visceral and subcutaneous fat, and gain about 15 pounds of intercellular hydration. So it really is transformation. It's not weight loss. You guys stay with me there? So, and by the way, an average for a woman though, a woman would lose 25 inches. 25 inches. So you're losing the inches, but you're gaining your muscle, you're gaining your hydration, you're losing your visceral and subcutaneous fat. And by the way, just so happens to be a side effect. When I did this, I did not care one bit about how I looked. I just cared about how I felt. You guys understand? I just want to feel better. Like every step of my life was a step of pain. But it just so happened it was a side effect that, you guys think my skin looks good? 65. Like I never dreamed that my skin was going to be more youthful. My hair was going to look healthier. Those are just side effects of when your cells are healthy. Your biggest organ in your body is your skin. So your skin tightens up like shrink wrap. Your hair, by the way, I've had gray-haired women, their hair turned back its normal color. Like their gray hair goes away. Yeah, and I have had people, I had a bald woman grow all her hair back. And I've had bald men grow their hair back. So no, when you get healthy at the cellular level, it just kind of restarts and re-energizes your whole body at the cellular level.
Great. We got time for 2 more questions. Vince?
Yeah, so you answered the question of the 24 ounces of water at a time, but you mentioned about don't drink more than so many ounces. Because
no, just don't drink more than 24 at a time to flush out your healthy electrolytes.
Okay. So that's in one sitting basically, like.
Yeah, one sitting, 24 ounces.
Okay.
But you should do that, 6 times a day.
Right.
5 or 6 times a day to do that. Yeah.
I assume you can spread it out thinner. In other words, you drink 12.
Yes, you can drink 12.
If it's hard for
10 times
24,
a day.
yes.
Yes.
Just as long as you're getting that amount in you need. Okay.
Yeah.
120 ounces a day?
That's where you want to start. Men should be doing 160, by the way. So 120 for women, 160 for men. Yeah. 120 for women, 160. No. Now, once you're fully hydrated. So women, by the way, women, you should be 55%. Men should be 60%. 55 and 60. By the way, how many people in here, your intercellular hydration number? Now look, think about this for a minute. Look, not one hand in the whole room just went up. Think about this. Look, you're mostly water. Do you realize your hydration number is more important than your blood pressure? It's more important than your cholesterol. It's more important than your A1C, your triglycerides. It's the most important number in your whole, and none of us even know what it is. So we need to learn what that is. Well, because I FedEx you a device. I FedEx you a bioimpedance device. By the way, I paid $11,000 in 1997 for the same device that I FedEx to all my clients. Because now it costs like $100 for the same technology. So I FedEx you a device, you have it for your whole life, you know what your hydration is, but we got to know what our hydration is. The most important number, especially for longevity. Especially for longevity. If your car was 15 gallons low of water, would you drive it cross country? No, because your engine would blow up. Well, you're way more important than your car. And your hydration is way more important than your car. And I'm going to do one last thing for you guys. Everybody pull out your cell phone real quick. Because just in case, because I want to make sure to serve this community, because this is a unique community. I'm going to ask you guys, don't take advantage of this. But but I'm going to give you guys my cell phone. So it's 949 887 5157. 949 887 5157. And just send me, and if you want to do this to change your life, because look, if you guys can't, I hope you guys feel my spirit, you feel my heart. Yeah. I know you guys are very intuitive. You know, I love it too. There's no mask here, right? There's no mask. And you know what I learned? Even when people wear a mask, we know they're wearing a mask, right? We know they're fake. So it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. So I'm giving you my cell phone. Yeah, 949 887 5157. So listen, I wouldn't sell you anything for anything in the world, but listen, I know I have an answer that solves problems. So if you came here today and you're looking for an answer, I know I have an answer for you, and I know I can help you. So that's why I'm going to give you my private cell. And if you want me to help you with this for the rest of your life, I would love to do it, be on this journey with you. And I'm going to ask you to make a deal for this room. When you turn 100, I want to do a podcast together. And we'll do by that time, it'll be a hologram. We'll be doing a hologram podcast together. You know, we'll be showing up in everybody's living rooms. But that's what I tell my clients. I say, listen, when you're 100, let's do a podcast. You know, they're like, well, John, you're 20. I go, that's right. I'll be 120. You'll be 100. And we'll be doing a podcast. But I truly do believe that we're designed to live long, to live strong, to get stronger every year of our life. And you know what? I'm really living it. I'm really living it. And I know you can too. I believe you can have your best health. I believe you can have your best life 20 years from now. I believe you can have your best health and your best life 20 years from now if you do your corresponding action.
Right.
Fantastic, John. Fantastic. Hey, so you're going to give us some this QR code. We can go on there and find out about the programs, correct?
Oh.
Now, is that correct?
Did
Oh,
everyone
I'm
get
sorry.
it?
The QR code I thought you were going to, I have my head turned, so you're going to put up another one?
Pop it up.
Okay. And so make sure everybody can get that. Is there anything else you want to say about the program itself that you think people should know about? I know you have some different options. Is it all self-explaining, this site that we're going to go on? Or is there anything you think you want to add?
No, I'll be happy to tell you guys. Listen, here's just the two different. There you go. So look, let me just ask you guys a question, because again, you guys are a unique audience. So I love this. Look, how many of you think for you personally, you know yourself, how many of you think for you personally, you do better if you have a coach walking you through a protocol? How many of you do better with a coach? Okay, you know what? You guys are honest. Most people, they raise their hand like, no, I could do it myself. I could do it myself. Hey, I'm telling you what, 90% of us can't do it ourselves. We can't. We need a coach. You know, you're a personal trainer. You know it, right? You know it's true. So look, if you need a coach, you need the platinum. I'm just being honest with you. Just sign up for the platinum program, invest in yourself. And look, let me give you guys a word picture here, a visual. So I'll use Javier here. Look, this is the cost of your program. This is your cost of your program. If you pay for this program, if it works, I'm asking everybody, if it works, is it worth it? Yeah. Look, if it doesn't, I just refund your money. So I do 100% money back guarantee. I don't need anybody's money. I'm not trying to take your money. I'm trying to change your life, right? I'm trying to change your life. So guys, it's the only fully medically approved program in the world with 100% money back guarantee. Like, that's for real. You can go Google it on the internet. Show me a fully medically approved that you can use care credit for that gives you 100% money back. Look, you're a health professional. You know that's true, right? No, if you go get stem cells and it doesn't work, your money's gone. Your money's gone. They're like, sorry, You know, no, we're not like that. Take a guess what my success rate is for 29 years. Close, 99.1. 99.1% for 29 years. But listen, but if you are that 1 in 100, if you are the 1 in 100, you can do it all by yourself, then do the gold program. Do the gold program. That's just a self-directed program where you don't have coaching. But listen, I personally coach all my clients, and I'm like your health GPS. Turn right, turn left, go straight. I give you every single step. And when you've helped tens of thousands of people, and I'm not an exaggerator, you know, I'm just going to say tens of thousands, it's a lot, you know, that I've helped over 29 years. Guys, you know what? I'm way smarter today than I was 28 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Because I've helped so many thousands of people with every challenge you could imagine. And I love it that you're a personal trainer, right? Like the more people you train, you learn the strategies. Oh, this is how you get to accelerate people's success. This is how you get them over the wall when they run into a wall. I've been through tens of thousands of walls by this point. So now I'm way better at helping you have success way faster. So I will love to love to help each and every one of you on your journey. And look, I don't care if you're 92 or you're 32. You know what? Everybody needs cellular health. Everybody. I work with pro athletes, guys. NFL football players, NBA basketball players, Major League Baseball players. They need this. They need this. And by the way, on a fun note, because how many senior citizens are in here? 65 and over. You know, 65 and over. Hey, guys, just want you to know, we got the world record. We got it. We got it. And I'll tell you a fun story. It's on the video on the internet. There was a card-carrying professional bodybuilder there. He's like 27 years old. And he came to set the world record. And he got 5 reps. He got 5 reps. And you know what I said to him? Can I use you for an example? I said, how old are you? You know, there's 7 cameras on us, you know. I said, how old are you? I go, well, no wonder. I go, you're just such a young guy, you know. Wait till you grow up, you know. But I mean it. Is that inspiring? Is that inspiring that we can do it at any age? We really can. So, hey, I love you guys. I love this community. And hey, together we can do it with our corresponding action. We got to take our action step to do it. So let's do it, guys. Let's live long. Let's live strong.